The Conceal community and the devs have been hard at work, so let's take a look at what they've been up to right after this. What's up, Savages? Welcome to the SavageMine YouTube channel. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about crypto mining and crypto related projects, you can get an almost daily dose of it just by clicking the subscribe button right now, and that will make sure that you don't miss anything. Also follow me on Twitter because over there I keep you updated on what's going on with the channel. There's a bunch of trolling going on over there. It's always a lot of fun. But yeah, I sometimes I'll run polls and things like that to help decide what we'll be looking at on the live stream. So it is interactive and you know, kind of keeps things moving along, and it's just another way of interacting with me and back and forth, and we can kind of chit chat or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's look at what I am currently mining. I think this one should be working now. I was kind of messing with it for a minute there right before the stream. I am mining Raven still on the NVIDIA rig because they just forked to new algo yesterday, so that's cool. On the AMD rig, I'm mining Rio and Monero. The Rio is all on the GPUs. All 10 GPUs are on Rio, and then the CPU is just on Monero. So that's what's going on over there. On the shared rigs, the co-owned rigs, I don't own these rigs outright. They are still on CCX, and I believe that they're going to be on CCX probably until the end of time, because they've been on there since March. And it's one of the projects that we like, and yeah, I think it'll probably stay on there for quite some time. And we're actually going to talk a little bit about CCX tonight, but let's look at the market real quick, find out what's going on over there. Do a little refresh, although I don't think it matters that much with this one. I think it auto refreshes. All right, so heat map looks all right. I like Link going up. It's actually past $2 again. That's good. And ETH looks good, and BTC is looking okay. Kind of boring on the BTC side, but all right. So let's look at watch list. Got a little bit of a bump from Raven, probably because the ASICs are off the network now, at least for now. And they're not, I don't think, I haven't really been watching the whale bot for Raven, but normally I would notice it, and I haven't noticed it, so I'm guessing that the ASIC farms are done dumping Raven on to the exchanges and selling it, you know, to pay their operating expenses and all that stuff. So I'm thinking that that's probably where this is coming from. Just a little bit of relief from the complete and constant suppression of price because they were just dumping on the market all the time. So that's good to see. AION's looking all right today, actually above 7 cents, so that's cool. Zell's getting hurt. They're all the way down to less than 6 cents. And Loki's hanging around 36. They've been doing really well. This is not bad for them. All right, so let's look at each individual project on my top 10 list. We'll go with CCX. We kind of already saw that. Hanging around, actually, no, we didn't even look at that over here. It was right here. It's small because it's small market cap, super small. So it's hanging around 14 cents. If that volume is real, that's actually pretty good volume for them. Yeah, I don't know if I would trust that or not. One exchange has over 100,000. I don't know. All right, let's see here. Raven, I already saw that. We'll go XWP or swap up just a tad. That's good to see. Rio. Rio's under 2 cents, down a little bit today with some real volume there. But I mean, look at it, it's a market cap of 250,000, it's super small. Loki, hanging around 36, like we said before. Zell was down, what, 5 cents? Oh, yeah, only 3% here. Below 6 cents. Then Vail, pretty much even. Arrow's not on here, that's my number 8. And then BITC, Bitcash, down, wow, 14%. Well, this might have something to do with them, their recent fork. They were forking over to X16R V2. They actually did it on Saturday, and unrelated to the algorithm, there were some other things that they were implementing, and you know, different feature sets and things like that with price information or something that was going into the header of the block, and that's where they kind of ran into a little bit of a technical problem with the mining side. So I think that they are CPU only right now. I haven't looked too much into it, but I believe that they're CPU only right now. And then AION. AION's up almost 6%, so hanging around 7 cents there, not too bad. See, what do we got? Really low volume, we got really low market cap, overall market cap. We were creeping up on 300 billion, I believe, before, not that long ago. And then BTC dominance is still up there pretty far. All right, so if there's something else you want me to check out, let me know. Let me check the chat, see what y'all are up to over here. What's up, Urban Explorer? What's up, Jay Bohannon and Michael Sask? What is going on? Thanks for stopping in. Why most coins don't, forking is dangerous. It's lots can go wrong, and projects don't want to focus on constantly forking. They would rather look at actual working on the project, right? Because forking is like it's kind of a reactionary thing, and it's not something that, I don't believe that there's really any project that starts out going, hey, there probably are, because there's like 8,000 different projects, but for the most part, you know, the top level projects, or the top 100, I'll say, probably aren't planning on forking. That's not part of the thing that they look at, because they're more concerned with development and not necessarily, you know, just constantly forking, you know, their algorithm, because it's dangerous, you know. And I'll give you an example. In this case of Ravencoin, whenever it was first discussed, or soon after the discussion came about forking, there was talk, and there were some developers that were considering a Ravencoin Classic. So now you've got this situation where, you know, some developers are going to break off and go and manage the Ravencoin Classic blockchain, and then the Ravencoin, the new blockchain, is going to be the new one, you know, the regular Raven. So basically at the last minute, not at the last minute, but probably 4 or 5 days ahead of time, they decided not to do that, which I think is a good decision. But yeah, it's just it's too complex. A lot of times it's not accepted by everyone in the community. You know, you saw that with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. You know, so there are always these problems that come up with forking, and it's because it's technology. There's a lot of different things that can happen. In the case of Bitcash, you know, it wasn't really related to the algorithm fork, but they were implementing some features at the same time. So it might kind of look like it had to do with the fork whenever it really didn't. At least changing to the algorithm to X16R V2 was not what caused it. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that's really, what's up, Frankie, 2 times? It's one of those things that's really you shouldn't really plan on it. You shouldn't have to do it, right? It's not something that the developers want to work on. They would rather work on their product or their project, not, hey, we gotta redo the algorithm in some way because there's ASICs or whatever. So that is what I am looking at. All right, so let's look at what is going on tonight. We're going to look at CCX, and that's Conceal.Network, and what's going on with that project. And just a quick reminder, none of my videos are sponsored. It's literally just me talking about projects that I'm interested in, and that is it. It's just me pressing go live on YouTube and going on and on about stuff. So that is what we are up to. That's what I'm up to. All right, so let's look at Conceal.Network. They've been a little bit busy. They've actually, up until just recently, just this week, it's kind of been a little bit quiet because they were going through consensus. But before I get into that, let me talk about what Conceal actually is. So Conceal, in short, it's a decentralized, privacy-focused online economy. And from the looks of it, they're going to start implementing some additional privacy tools and features and things like that into the project, and that's what we're going to kind of look at right now. So if we go over here to like I was saying, they were just going through consensus, and basically the way consensus works on an open source project, a community driven project like Conceal, is, they'll, over time, there's some recommendations, there's some, community involvement that says, hey, we'd like to see this in the project, or we would like to see that in the project. And then that's documented over time. And then there's a specific time, in the case of Conceal anyway, that they actually say, okay, this is the month. This is the 4 weeks from this date to this date. That's whenever we're going to have consensus, and we're going to have voting and all this stuff on what we're going to work on next, right? And this is from their Discord. So they had, I think it just ended, basically, the consensus. So, you can't always have consensus up and running, basically, or open, because you want to close it off, you want to compile the data, close it off, and then start working on stuff, right? The devs need to get busy on developing, right? And not always constantly changing things based on community input. They basically do it once a year. Some projects probably have a different schedule, but in the case of Concealed, I think it's once a year. So for the short-term proposals that they're looking at, it looks like they're going to, and I actually mentioned that in my little opening line there, about it used to be called an online bank, and you've heard me call it that. Well, I guess the consensus was from the community that they wanted to remove banking from the slogan and replace it with economy, and that's why I said it was a decentralized, privacy-focused online economy instead of online bank, like I used to say. So that's one thing that they're going to do. These are just short-term, easy, fairly easy things to implement. The deposits revamp. So in the wallet, let me see if I can. Yep. So in the wallet, let me open up a different wallet. Hold on just a second. That's one of my mining wallets. Let's see if I can open the YouTube wallet. Okay, here we go. All right, so in the wallet you can see, and we'll get into this in a minute, but I haven't updated my wallet, so we'll go through that again as well, because apparently they've updated this interface and updated the settings and things like that. I don't know how much of the interface has changed, but I know some of it has. So right here you can see that they have banking, and then they have deposits, and then investment. And long ago, this kind of confused me a little bit, and I think that I don't know how it got implemented originally, probably through last year's consensus, most likely, or maybe this was this way on launch. I don't know for sure. But you basically have two different options. You have deposit or investment. And deposits are any amount. Let's see, what is it? I think it's, you can do any amount, but I think it is, I think there was a minimum of 1 CCX. Okay, so 1 to whatever you can put into the deposit, and for up to 52 weeks, I think. Yeah, so for up to 1 year, right? So that's the way that works. And then each week, you can see over here, you can see how it changes the percentage that you're going to get on top of what you are putting in there. So for example, does it tell? Okay, so this is 1 CCX. So let's say I did all, so that's 5. So I would get, for 45 weeks, for basically cold staking 5 CCX, I would end up with 5.2, right? Because that's 4.16% for the 52 weeks. Doesn't sound like a lot, but 5 CCX is, that's only like 50 cents, right? So, or 60 cents, whatever it is. So, USD value anyway. So that's the way that works. So if you had a lot more, then obviously, this number would look a lot better than just 0.2. But you're gaining that for literally nothing other than locking up that 5 CCX for a year. Now, on the investment side, the minimum was 50,000, which kind of, it's not easy to get 50,000. I mean, that's whenever it was way down there at like a penny or 2 cents USD, it would probably be somewhat achievable. But especially on the mining side, it would be really tough to get 50,000. You have to start opening up your wallet to get to 50,000. So, point being is that it kind of had people divided, right? So you had like the really rich people, consider them rich to have 50,000 CCX, and then you had the poor people that were just doing the deposits, right? So it looks like what they're going to try to do. Oh, and the investments were by quarter too, so it was for every 3 months. I think you could go for 5 years, I think, total. Yeah, 5 years. So, at the end of, like, if you put in 50,000, at the end of the 5 years, you would have, you would gain 36% or 18,311. So you can see how that's a pretty big benefit. I mean, but that is for 5 years too. So, anyway, so it looks like what they are going to do, get back over here, they are going to revamp that. They're going to merge deposits and investments and change the time metric to monthly units. So instead of quarters, everything will be monthly. And then they're going to review the interest rates and probably adjust them in some way to kind of compensate for the two differences, because investments and banking has they have two different interest rates. And they're going to call it savings. So probably on the wallet, you're not going to see, actually over here, it'll probably say savings or something like that, right? And that'll be on cold staking, same technology, but it's just going to be handled a little bit differently. And I don't know how that works for existing, like I've got funds locked up in other wallets and cold staked. I don't know how that's going to work. They are going to certainly work that out, though. I don't know if maybe it's if you had it that way before, it just stays that way, and then anything new has to be done the new way. That's most likely the way it'll work, but I don't know how that is going to work on the technology side. So that's what's going on with that. And then as far as privacy improvements, it looks like they are going to remove some of the data from the interface. So whenever you go over here to banking, there's quite a lot on here as far as if I had some staked, it would show a lot of, in my opinion, it's your wallet, and I don't know why this was such a big deal, and I might be looking at it the wrong way, but it says to remove interest paid stats, deposit tags, and fee uniformization. Same fees for transaction messages, optimization, and deposit. So I don't know if that's just referring to maybe the history or the transaction history, maybe over here. Maybe over here. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that's referring to. But you can see down here like the different number or the different letters. So you got A, B, C, D, and E. So you can see down here the numbers that they actually voted on, or how many people voted on each individual one. and B was by far the most wanted, you know, and I think it was the most wanted out of all of them. Yeah. So B was huge. Like everybody, the community wanted the deposits revamped for sure. So then if we go on to private data vault, this is kind of cool. I thought that this was a really cool addition, although it didn't get a lot of traction as far as the votes, but it looks like they are going to look at it. Private data vault, like encrypted password manager and private notes. So a lot of people actually use this wallet because it has in-wallet messages. So some people actually use it to store other data securely. For example, you could send another crypto's private key to here and store it here, right? Because it's encrypted, it's on the blockchain, you know, all those cool things. You can see here I've done some tests, you know, whenever we were doing CCX videos in the past. I actually highlighted this, you know, showing the procedure and how to do it and how it's kind of cool and stuff. So you could, so it looks like they're going to expand on that, is what it looks like, and they're going to include a password manager, which is awesome. Okay, I mean, everybody, you know, we have a ton of passwords, so it would be neat to have one wallet or one interface like this that is also for Conceal, but also has password manager feature inside of it, right? So those are private notes and password manager, kind of cool stuff. The max supply, it looks like, was not really voted on very heavily. It was only a 6, but it looks like they want to change the max supply to 210 million. And from a value standpoint, you know what? I don't even know what they are at right now. I should know, but I don't. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find that out really quick. I don't remember what they're... Let's see here. I think it's on here somewhere. Okay, so it's not that big of a change. I was thinking it was more than that. It's only a 10 million change. So, but still, on the value side of things, you know, it's one of those supply and demand things. So if you have more supply, then it's going to affect the demand, right? But that's max supply on the other end, right? That's not like right now. It's not going to affect the supply, the circulating supply right now. So, and the reason that they're doing that is to make it easier to convert, probably in your head, you know, to a Satoshi amount, I guess, because, you know, there's 21 million Bitcoin, and then this would be 210 million if they changed it. So that's what they are looking at, yeah, to allow easier comparative with BTC and Sats. Okay, whatever. You can see it didn't get a whole lot of votes. So some other things that were, so of this right here, it looks like, you know, obviously the deposits revamp is the first thing they'll work on. And the midterm or middle term proposals, side projects, it looks like they are looking at a peer-to-peer dedicated messenger app, which is kind of cool. Free messages, audio, emojis, CCX ID, and payments integrated. So that's kind of neat. I mean, there's other projects that are working on similar technology, so it'll be fun to watch them develop this as well. I think that's kind of a cool thing. And sidechains, child asset smart contracts. This is going to be developed hopefully so that they can, you know, it'll allow developers to actually develop smart contracts and atomic swap capabilities, multi-signatures, they misspelled that, things like that on the Conceal.Network. So I think that's kind of neat as well. Looks like voting and distributed applications also. So that is pretty cool. Some of this kind of reminds me of Ravencoin with the voting and stuff. But atomic swaps, I think, are huge. Smart contracts are huge. Voting could be huge, depending on how you use the rest of this. So yeah, cool stuff. And as far as, oh, and both of those are pretty, they were heavily voted on, you know. So right now we're looking at a deposits revamp, dedicated messenger, and sidechain. Those are the top 3 right now. And then down here for long term, it looks like non-fungible tokens, NFT for games, not very heavily voted for. Peer-to-peer data cloud, which would be kind of cool, not heavily voted for though. Volatility, low volatility medium of exchange, like a stable coin on the same blockchain. Got 12 votes, not awful. And then the private browser got the most. So it looks like a lot of people want a private browser that operates on the Conceal.Network network. So that's kind of cool. I think that would be somewhat difficult to develop though. I think that would take some time. The other hot item down here was the fiat gateway getting, you know, basically being able to convert, I guess, fiat to CCX, or access fiat in order to bring it into CCX and buy CCX. And then F, that was a really popular one. E was, out of the bottom one down here, it was the second one. Private browser was 1 and fiat gateway was 2. And then they had decentralized DNS, got 40, no, I'm sorry, yeah, got 18. Decentralized VPN, got 26, actually more than DNS. So that's kind of cool. Other projects are working on similar things like that. H would be some privacy features, ring confidential transactions, and bulletproofs. Actually, I was really expecting, because this is a privacy coin, I was really expecting that to be much higher, but whatever. And then I is 18, not too many. Well, down here it's not one of the most popular ones. Chain sharding and pruning. And then one that did get a lot of traction was the DEX, the distributed exchange or decentralized exchange. So that's kind of cool too. So I don't know what I mean, it seems like they're going to work on all this stuff because it was voted on, because there were other options, I believe, in the different sections. I don't think this was all of it, right? Or if they're just going to work from the most voted on, you know, overall, which would be the messenger, right? No, would be the deposits revamp. So by far, the deposits revamp was the most highly requested or voted on. So then it looks like private browser was second, and then messenger was third, and sidechain was fourth, it looks like. Yeah, so they basically have their consensus done, and everything is moving along in that direction, it looks like. Some other things that they have been working on, and they just released this recently, somewhat recently, is their new wallet. And it's version 5.4.1. That's the CLI, or the command line interface, and the desktop wallet. These wallets have, at least the desktop wallet, has auto optimization, but it happens only if it's needed, and it's only whenever the wallet is up and running and synchronized. So one of the things that was happening, and it was a big complaint that a lot of people had about the Conceal.Network wallet, and even on the exchange side, is optimization, wallet optimization. And if it wasn't optimized, and you've seen it actually on my stream before, whenever we were trying to send back and forth, and I had to actually optimize the wallet before I could do it, and it takes like 22 minutes or maybe even more. So it was a kind of a problem with the project, and it looks like they have got that ironed out, because it mainly affects mining, or someone, it would definitely affect a point of sale that does a lot of small transactions. your wallet can become unoptimized pretty quickly, especially, like I said, on the mining side. If you have your wallet, if you have your payout from the pool, if you're mining to a pool and you have your payout set kind of low, like I did for a long time, I had it set to like 3 CCX, so it would pay out if once I earned 3, it would pay out. I've since changed it to like 10 or 40 or something. I don't even know where I'm at right now, but you know, because of all those little transactions, it would basically cause your wallet to become unoptimized, and you wouldn't be able to actually send anything until you went through the whole optimization process, right? And it would take, like I said, like 20 something minutes, 20 plus minutes. So that was a huge complaint that a lot of people had about this particular project and the wallet and how things worked. And that same thing would happen to exchanges if you were trying to withdraw off of an exchange, because basically an exchange uses the command line interface wallet, right? Is how they store, you know, transfer and all that stuff. That's what performs the transactions. So they would have problems just like someone that had the wallet on their desktop would have, basically. So it was a big problem, but it looks like they got it worked out now. So in the new wallet, which not this version, this is 5.3.8. The new wallet is 5.4.1, and again, I haven't updated, and that's what we were going to do tonight. But it talks about this article here, Medium article, talks about wallet optimization and what they did with it, as far as being. I want to say it's going to be the default. I don't know for sure, but I believe, you see, this is the new settings interface. If you look at the settings over here, it was just this, right? So that's the difference. So they've got different languages in here too, and it's its own screen, whereas before you click settings and it was just a drop down here, and you could click optimize wallet, you know, rescan connection and all that stuff. But it looks like they have their very own settings, has its very own screen now, where you can set the node, the connection type, the language. You can optimize the wallet, or you can enable auto optimization right here. It says the process will check every 15 minutes, and it's disabled. And actually, they misspelled that too. But this is just a screenshot or whatever. But it's disabled by default, right? But I think that I saw them talking about possibly making it enabled by default. I don't know for sure though. Maybe they can comment on the video, some of the devs or someone that knows for sure, or the chat. I don't know if any of the CCX folks are in here. All right, so, all right, let me get back to over here. And then, like I was saying, on the exchange side or the service operations side, they have basically the same thing. And right here it says one of the biggest issues lately are withdrawal errors at exchanges. And the dreaded transaction is too big, please optimize your wallet, which is what we were getting in some of the streams before whenever I was trying to do some CCX stuff, you know, like demonstrate the messages and all that stuff that we were doing before in previous videos. So it was kind of like, that's kind of embarrassing, you know, to have that happen, because I just wasn't ready for it. I wasn't aware of that problem at the time. So yeah, so apparently they've got an optimizer that comes with the binaries for the command line interface wallet and those services and everything, and here's the options for doing that. So if you're a service provider, you know, like an exchange or something like that, you would use this capability here. It adds the optimizer daemon for service wallet optimization. It also improves on the error messages, so it kind of guides you a little bit better. It's not so vague, I guess. So that's kind of neat. So what we can do now, because I need to do it, let's go ahead and go through the process of updating this wallet. So I've got 5.3.8 right now. So I'm going to close this wallet. Oh, and before I was wondering how much this was, and it's, the USD value is right there. All right, so I'm going to close that wallet. And then what I should do is I'm going to, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to go to where my wallet files are stored, okay? And these are the dot wallet. This is the actual name of it. I can slide this over there in just a second. I have a lot of them, so looks like that. You know, because remember the shared rigs each have their own wallet, and the my rig has its own wallet, and then there's a combined wallet for the shared rigs. And I do this to separate things out because different owners own the two different rigs, and one of them performs just a little bit better than the other one. So it's not really fair. I mean, I guess it would be if we're all like, you know, we're on the same team, but as far as hardware goes, one of them is just slightly better than the other one. So, you know, so that's why I split up their wallets, so I knew exactly how much each one, you know, whenever we do the monthly calculations and the monthly review, I've done 2 of those live stream, so you can check those out as well to kind of get an idea of how we handle the shared rigs. You know, so you saw that if you watch those videos, you saw that particular process and why I did split up the wallets and how it makes sense on the calculations and stuff. So there's actually a different way of doing it, but I'm probably going to stick with this. It just makes the most sense to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy each one of those .wallet files, and I'm going to throw them into a backup folder. Just going to copy them, and this is kind of it's not completely necessary to do what I'm doing. I'm just being extra careful because the wallet isn't going to mess with those files at all, or it shouldn't. You know, obviously, if you click the wrong thing, you know, you might mess something up. But for the most part, you're not replacing the wallet files at all. You know, the new wallet isn't going to touch those, or it shouldn't. And here's what I mean. Like, if you look right here, the conceal.gui or conceal-gui.exe, that's what's going to be replaced. And then some other files, support files down there, the libraries and DLLs and things like that. Those is what's going to be replaced, not your wallet files at all. But, you know, I like being careful. So that's what we're going to do there. So let's go here and go to wallets. And then we're going to grab the Windows GUI wallet. You can see here it's got a new settings screen. We saw that, or we saw what it should look like. And then we saw auto optimization. We talked about that. And then, oh, and it's also going to display the remote node in the title bar. So that's going to be kind of cool as well. So you don't have to go digging down through the settings to find out what node you're actually attached to, or how your node is set up in the wallet. So I'm going to grab CCX Desktop Win64 version 5.4.1. It's only 10 meg, super small. We'll grab that. I'm going to put it in downloads. Now what you could do too is just make a backup of your entire wallet folder. So that you have everything. That would be another step, like if you wanted to revert back, or if you needed to revert back to the old version, like let's say there was a real problem with the new version or something. You know, if you wanted to be super careful, you could do that. All right, we got this, and we are going to extract all. And I'm just extracting it to my folder, my wallet folder. I think this will be right. It looks like that. That's where I'm extracting it to. And it should ask me to, maybe not. I was thinking it would ask me to overwrite, but maybe I probably didn't put it in the exact right spot, but that's okay, I can move it. Well, that's weird. Nothing happened. Nothing changed. Oh wait, you know what? It's the setup file. Okay, yeah, I forgot about this. See, it's been a while since I messed with this. So all it is a setup file right here. I was thinking it was going to extract. See, I didn't go into the actual zip file, so I thought it was just going to extract and replace all these files, but there's actually a setup right here. You have to go into that. So I'm going to right click, run as administrator. Probably going to lose you for just a second here. And I did get this from the official source, from their website. So, you know, you always want to be super careful about this. I got it from their GitHub, which I got to the GitHub from their website. So you'll come up here and you'll double check connection is secure, make sure the certificate's valid. You know, you can learn more all about it, but you don't want to go to somewhere that says like Conceal.Network.com, right? Because that's not going to be the right website. And you don't want to ever get a wallet from anywhere other than the trusted source. And in this case, I went right off of their link right here. You can look down here, you know, to see what the link actually points to. So, you know, you can kind of take a quick look at this and make sure that everything looks legit and looks right. In this case, I mean, I got information from the Discord and through Twitter and all different types of sources that stated that there was a new wallet available, which is the only reason why I even went here to begin with. So pretty confident. You know, you can look down through here. Like, let's say you went to a GitHub and it only had the one thing listed in here, and then none of the previous versions, for example. You know, that would kind of be like a red flag, you know, like something's not right. You know, long story short, you always want to, you know, verify that where you're at. Like right here it says Conceal.Network. If you put your mouse over that, you can see over here it says verified. So that's good as well. You know, I'm just going through the motions. You just want to double check. I didn't want to make that look rudimentary. You know, like it was something that you just do, right? You know, if you're not familiar with a project, you definitely want to take the time to verify stuff like that. But the method that I got here, I'm pretty confident that you know, that I'm good to go here. So I'm going to run anyway. Everything is going to, all these mining and wallet programs are always going to show up as you know, potentially malicious whenever they really aren't. You could run it through VirusTotal or one of those websites like that, scan it, whatever. Some of them are still going to show up as having malicious software because they have, some of them have built-in miners. They have all kinds of stuff built in there that Windows and Defender and all those different programs are going to see as potentially harmful, right? So again, as long as you know for a fact that what you are getting is legit, then you're good. And another thing, I don't know if they actually have this. Let's see if they have it, because you can check the hash for the downloads. This might be something that I don't know if I've ever done it from their website or not. Let's see. Unless maybe you have to go in here, maybe. I'm probably just going to look right at it and overlook it, but I was thinking that there was a... We've done that before. I actually did a video on it, where you verify how to check file hash to verify. So this video covers if the producers of the software actually provide you with a hash, and that hash value is from a trusted source also, then you can verify that the file hasn't been modified since it was published, right? And that's what that video right there actually goes through. So you check that out if you want more information on that. So I downloaded that, I'm running it. All right, so here we go. We're back to, let me get this looking good here. All right, go right here. If you don't agree to it, you have to click cancel. But if you click cancel, you're not going to be able to use the wallet. So one of those things. All right, so that looks good. Good. Finish. All right. So now you can see right here where conceal-GUI.exe was updated. You can see the date right here. It was like something like 7, I think it was July or something, was the last time I updated. I should have pointed that out before I actually did that, but yeah, so you can see that it's updated just yesterday. And let's see, there's probably some other files down here that are similar. Yeah, like this one. Nope, that's the wallet. Uninstall. I was thinking maybe some of these DLLs might have been updated as well, but it doesn't look like they were. So, all right, so now I should be able to run the new wallet. I'm going to do this off screen just in case. I don't know if it always starts over there or not. Let's see. All right, so it did come up. And it looks like this. This is the same wallet, so it started with the last one that I opened, which was the YouTube wallet. And it is 5.4.1 now. Get some of this stuff out of the way. All right, so it's 5.4.1 now. And if we click on settings, it's going to be its own screen instead of that little drop down down here, or it should be. So now I'm curious whether or not that misspelling is still there. So I'm really, if you guys don't know, I'm really, there's something about me that I can pick out misspellings pretty easily, like on a page of text. I can just be glancing at it and kind of pick out the misspellings fairly quickly. It's a blessing and a curse in some ways, but it's just one of those things that I pick out. It's not, I'm not like trying to slam anybody or anything like that, because I know people misspell words. Okay, and it is still misspelled down there, disabled. All right, so they do have their own screen here, so this is what we were talking about. The connection type here is built-in node, automatic remote node, or custom remote node. And in my case, I try to always run a local node, a built-in node, for maximum security, because you want to trust the node that you're actually connecting to, and if it's your own node, then you can pretty much be confident that you're not going to try to do something malicious to yourself, right? So you got those settings in there, and it looks like it probably defaults to built-in node, most likely. Got the optimize now, and it doesn't look like it's enabled by default. So I'm going to click enable. Okay. So there's no really indication or anything, nothing really happened other than that change from disabled to, or enabled to disabled. So we might want to ask them to put some type of validation in here. Like, I wonder if it would be better with like one of those slider switches, like a enabled and disabled slider switch. So you would know, like, if you turn it on, then it goes like green. Well, they probably don't want to put green into the actual interface here, but maybe the orange or something. It goes like, it highlights the whole backdrop of the switch to be orange, so that you know that's on, and whenever you turn it off, it goes to this color, the gray. I don't know, because it just seems like it's such a small change, you know. So I don't know, that's just me. But all right, I got some other things in here. Close the tray, minimize the tray. So if you minimize it, it'll just go down to the tray. I suppose that this is meaning that if I close it, if I hit the X, it's going to also go to the tray and not actually close. So you got to keep that in mind. That looks like that's the default. I actually like it to close the wallet if I hit the X. So let me see how this works. Close. So it actually does close. And it's not in my tray or nothing. So I don't know if that is intentional, if that's like a... Let's see here. So this says close to tray enabled, but whenever I closed it, it actually closed it. So I don't know what that, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding what that actually means. But anyway, so that is their new settings screen, so that's cool. I did leave that enabled, right? Yep. So this wallet should auto optimize, which is nice. That's a great feature. Check the chat, see what y'all are up to. Jay Bohannon, I do not know much about micro Bitcoin. I kind of stayed away from it. I'll be completely honest with you. I did a video on it. It popped on the Random Coin Mining Show months and months and months ago. I think it was at the end of 2018 sometime. And, you know, I got with the micro Bitcoin devs, let them know I was doing the show, and they got into the stream, and some of their supporters were not very nice. So I was like, okay, I mean, here I am doing, it's not like I'm doing this for, money or anything. You don't have to come into the stream and be a jerk, so yeah, it kind of turned me off of them, actually. Maybe things have changed. I don't know anything about them. I haven't heard anything about them, but it seems like, let's go, we can do a quick look real quick and see if anything is going on with them. Well, look, I'll say it. I normally I wouldn't say it, but I will say it. This is indicative of their community and how they acted. To me, this is their fault. This is karma. No, they weren't. It wasn't even that bad, but there was just a couple of people that were. And what was it? I want to say that I had just started using HiveOS, and I think that micro Bitcoin, I think this is the same. I think I'm thinking of the same thing here. Yeah, see, they fixed it now, but I believe that the icon for micro Bitcoin in HiveOS was wrong. It was like a previous icon for a completely different project, and I selected it, and they were blasting me in chat because they were saying that it was the wrong coin. And I was trying to tell them, I was like, listen, it doesn't matter what is it. You could put whatever up here. You could put whatever you wanted and then create it. And then as long as the address is correct and all the other information in the flight sheet is correct, then you're good. You can name it whatever you want. You know, use whatever icon you want. Like I did after that happened, I did several shows where I was using like the Bitcoin icon for other cryptos, right? So like a completely different project, but I would use the Bitcoin logo for it just to kind of prove my point, you know. Anyway. All right, so that is all of the information I have. That's all I wanted to cover. If you guys don't have anything else, let's check out the remote node IP. It should be up here, or is that something that they're going to do in the future? Remote node IP and title bar. Now I don't have a remote node. I have a local node. So let's go in here and change it. Let's go do automatic remote node. Save. Let me restart the wallet because one of the changes was supposed to show the node information up here in the title bar. I'm going to close that. I'm just reopening the wallet. And let's check the settings here. It is automatic remote node. Maybe it has to be on custom. I don't see that change in there, unless I'm just overlooking it. Oh, there was a problem. Please restart your wallet. Okay, so something's wrong. We'll do a custom remote. We'll see if that works. Probably gonna blow up my wallet. Yeah, the old wallet, I actually had to restart my machine to get it to start working again. It would never successfully launch. So probably what's happening now is it's trying to contact remote node or something. Let's see here. I don't think anything's running. Okay, so it says synchronizing right here. Yeah, there was a problem. Please restart your wallet. So I don't know, maybe I don't know why it would do that. I mean, I haven't validated that node, but this is what was in there, you know, previously. So I'm gonna go back to built-in, save. So I'm assuming that it would say the node information up here if it was working. I might try, you know, I don't want to waste time on waiting on it to sync or whatever it's doing. You know, anytime you change how your wallet is interfacing with a node, you can run into weird problems like that where you're going to have to wait, you know, a certain amount of time for things to get worked out, you know, instead of just doing it quickly like I did. Yeah, my wallet, it's freaking out because normally it would say something here. I don't know what's going on with it. A little quirky on my system here. Okay, so I just clicked in there. Now it says it's saving data, so we'll see. It might be broke. I really hate doing that with a wallet, but I mean, we know that the wallet is like separate from the actual wallet files, right? So we're not, you can mess up the wallet and your files are still going to be fine. Your actual wallet's still going to be fine. So don't get too freaked out whenever stuff like that happens. It did launch again. See here, so it's back to built-in node. So that's good. And it's synchronized. So probably if I were to set it to automatic or custom and then restart the wallet and just let it be, leave it alone for a while, it might be okay. But in this case, it probably knows like, hey, I'm supposed to be on a local node here, or at least that's the way I was last started. You know, I don't know if that's what's going on, but anyway, that's cool. See if it closes successfully now that it's, yeah, see, now that it's on the local node, it closed just fine, no problem. All right, so that is going to do it for me. It is 10:30. That was an hour, another hour down. I will see you guys tomorrow. Most likely, what's tomorrow? Thursday? Yep, I'll probably be here. Same time, 9:30. I don't know what content I'm going to cover. It's probably going to have to do with Rio, most likely. If I was to guess at this point, I would probably say it'll be Rio. Might actually be CCX again, depending on what happens between now and then. So I'll see you guys next time. Stay savage, everybody.